Hey YouTube, what's going on? Juniio here, back again with another reaction video, back again with another viewer request, and today's Sunday, so I thought to myself, hey, what a perfect day to listen to some black metal. Episode, as always, sponsored by RuneGate Studio. Please go subscribe to this YouTube channel. I actually care about it. Today we're reacting to the song Malfeitor by Watain. Watain? Whatever. I don't know how to pronounce either of these words. As recommended by Ulysses Hernandez, we're taking another dip into black metal. Of course, everybody follow in Ulysses Hernandez's example. Leave your suggestions in the comments down below. The next video could be yours, and that's pretty exciting. No music videos, no live shows. I just want to focus on the music and what they're talking about, okay? I don't want to get distracted by goofy and Saphir visuals again, all right? We're just going to chill. We're just going to listen to this song. Just look at this cool album art for the next 7 minutes. Wow. Okay. Well, I hope it's good because it's pretty darn long. Let's turn the volume up a bit and let's get started. Okay. This is more the sound I was expecting. The intro's kind of like interestingly melodic. Turn it up. Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay, all of a sudden I'm okay with the song being 7 minutes long. It's interesting because I think a lot of people refer to Watain as like a black metal band. While yes, that makes sense to me, they also have such a varied sound and are drawing influences from a bunch of different places that it makes for a much more, I guess, dynamic listen than a lot of other typical black metal songs would. You definitely get the sections. There's a section in the middle of the verse that was pretty much just straight black metal, blast beats, tremolo guitars, very crazy and chaotic. But you also get some, not slower, but more deliberate riffing sections, some more melodic like lead passages. The first thing that's kind of standing out to me is how varied the sound is and how they kind of keep switching it up and changing it so it's not just the same straightforward traditional black metal sound the whole time. Now, would I be okay with a traditional black metal straightforward sound the entire time and it just being this absolute cacophony of chaos and utter barrage of noise for 7 minutes? I probably would, to be honest, if it sounded as good as this. These are one of the black metal bands that seems to take production very seriously. They have a quite polished, finished product here, and it sounds good. And that's, you know, isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just simply a choice that some black metal bands now make. And I have no problem with it. Love high quality production just as much as the next guy, but I can also get down with the grimy, half-destroyed analog recordings of the early stuff. It's just different, okay? It's just different. And for this, I think that the high-quality production benefits the sound right now because of how varied and dynamic they're trying to be. So I honestly have no complaints. Like, it all sounds good so far. Like, this is kind of like black and roll. You know? Listen to that lead guitar. Okay. Now, some people might get a little upset for me saying this, but during the chorus, when he was doing that half singing kind of thing, it reminded me a little bit of Cradle of Filth and how Danny Filth switches between so many different vocal techniques. To me, that's not a bad comparison. Cradle of Filth is one of my favorite extreme metal bands, despite, I don't know, whatever weird status they have in the metal community, not being true black metal. Yeah. Duh. Regardless, I still think they're really good. Therefore, the comparison is a favorable one. Again, some black and roll influences we heard a little bit there. But enough about the varied techniques and influences of other sounds. Let's talk about the lyrics for a bit. The first verse seems to be talking about the creation of this being, Malfeitor, probably some sort of demon lord or some sort of wretched spawn of the underworld. Because the way it's talking, by the blessing of the shunned gods, the cord of life was deformed, twisted into a noose to strangle the miscarriage of the eye. The eye referring to God, I think, typically. Twisting the umbilical cord into a noose to strangle its miscarriage. I mean, it's just all very gnarly imagery. And this cursed being was blessed by the shunned gods. And I actually was listening to an interesting theological discussion the other day about how ancient Hebrew mythologies, it's possible that they had this kind of pantheon-esque idea of immortals and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it, but this idea of shunned gods is not such a stranger to the idea of current religion as we might think. Upon which he shall feast. Oh, maybe this Malfeitor is going to be feasting upon the miscarriage. I don't know. This unholy being is also chained to the abyss, his limbs extended across the abyss, with 13 horns and 1,000,000 tusks, which sounds like a monster straight out of the Revelations, and 1,000 jaws that breathe, only to chew the chains that tie him to Isaiah, and Titan is their strength. Isaiah? Isaiah is the last of the 4 spiritual worlds of the Kabbalah. The thing about these black metal bands is that very often they know a lot more about theology and ancient mythology regarding Christianity and stuff than I'd say just most people in general, which is kind of interesting. I had no idea what Isaiah was. Metamorphosphorus malformation. Yours is the call I follow, astride the wings of death to the crossroads. Metamorphosphorus. Metamorphosis phosphorus. So that brings to mind this kind of weird cosmic birth and rebirth and evolution of this crazy being that is uncomprehendable to the human eye. I'm just thinking of like those weird galactic clouds and stuff. Things whose scale is kind of beyond our understanding. This person is, I guess, following this powerful being. I guess maybe that makes sense because it's just so powerful it's beyond your comprehension, so might as well, hey? Well, I mean, not might as well, but maybe that's their reasoning. Malfeitor, this master and servant in unity, at one with the abyss, when in your possession I am. Against the blindness of men, thine eyes have been granted immunity, so that my sight be cleared when wielding the sword of the damned. Oh, so cool. This is bringing to mind a warlock pact that one might experience when playing Dungeons and Dragons. See, this person has sold their soul to some being greater than themselves in exchange for power. They feel at one with the abyss when they are being possessed by their patron. Through this patron's eyes, he can see through the blindness of men. This reminded me a lot of my current D&D character, actually, interestingly enough. But that's a story for another time. Let's keep listening to this song. This is turning into much more interesting than I originally thought. So, hey. Super technical. Malfeitor. Okay. Okay, before we finish off with this last instrumental section, let's talk about what's going on so far. Obviously, these lyrics aren't for everybody. Obviously, they can be quite off-putting to some. I'm not really qualified at all to go into major theological discussions. My knowledge and expertise is a little lacking there, unfortunately. However, I know enough to kind of get the basic gist of what he's saying. And basically, he's saying that he is going to carry out these acts of evil for the devil. And he says at the end that he is, yes, I am of my father the devil, and the lusts of my father I will do. So he's going to visit the evils of the devil upon the rest of the world. And Malfeitor, I guess, is the name of this supreme unholy being. That's how you pronounce it. In your possession I am, twilight god of transformation. At the crossroads we meet again. So I guess this person has to make a choice of whether or not to pursue this path he is currently set on, and I guess at the end he decides to commit. Behold, as I pervert and destroy their law. That verse is kind of taking like images and language that are sacred to the religion, and I guess twisting them a bit. For dark are the desires that dwell within my heart, and the devil is in my kiss. Yes, he is. It's all very dark, very blasphemous, very gnarly. Yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the song. It's all so interesting and crazy to me. You just have to remember, like, it's all music. And look, in general, I don't care. People can say whatever they want in their songs, and I'll decide for myself whether I want to listen to it or not. This doesn't really bother me, so we're just going to keep listening to the song. '10, hey? Okay. Ooh. Wait, do they not have bass? Hold on. Vocals and guitars, drums, guitars. No bass. That's the most black metal thing I've ever read in my life. Amazing. I personally really enjoyed this song. I thought it sounded great. I love the lyrics. I love how dark and twisted and crazy they were. I love the varied production and instrumentation, the great dynamic ranges this song went through. The guy's vocal delivery as well was actually quite good. Black metal sections were really good, and he was able to kind of switch it up and vary it quite well with different delivery techniques. So that kept me interested throughout the whole thing. The guitar work, they had these slow lead sections every once in a while. They weren't super technical. They weren't super atmospheric or emotional or anything. So maybe that's the one thing I would have improved. But that's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, overall, I quite enjoyed this song. I think I said all I wanted to say. And I think that the message of the song is pretty straightforward, right? It's just the way in which they say it is what makes it interesting. Unnamed protagonist, antagonist, however you want to view it, seeking out and accepting power from Malfeitor, the devil, some unfathomably evil, unholy being, so that they may do their bidding upon Isaiah, or the physical plane of this universe, upon the earth. Right? That's the song in a nutshell. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right, guys? I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to like it. If you like the channel, make sure to subscribe. Of course, everybody have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow with, I think, a Battle of Mice. I don't remember. I think that's the name of the band. I don't remember. But that's who we're doing tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. And that's about it, you know? Black metal. Ugh. Catch you later.